For today, I'm talking about why now is the perfect time to start planning and setting goals for 2025. My biggest advice is not to wait until 2025 and even not until the very end of 2024. This is what successful spiritual women do right now to make sure next year goes off with a bang. So this time right now, this end of end of autumn time, moving into the winter is the perfect time to get started with goal setting, is the perfect time to start planning 2025. This is what spiritual women do, this is what I do, and this is what is really well known for us to do. And that is because it is the perfect time to start reflecting on the autumn, reflecting on what's happened before in the other seasons throughout the year. Autumn is about shedding, right? Like you'll see all the leaves falling off the trees. We see this real movement right now, and we see that all the nature is allowing things to just die away and fall away, which is why the number one thing to do right now is reflect on what has happened. This is good and the bad stuff that's happened this year, and think about what you have managed to achieve. Looking at your goals for this year, have you achieved what you wanted to? Where did you get up to? Celebrate all the stuff you've managed to do this year and all those things that have come in that you weren't expecting and you've done, right? Like there's always something that's come up and popped up and cropped up that you hadn't planned, and then they're there and you've done this year. So really reflecting on the successes of the year, things you managed to do, and then also look at the things that haven't gone to plan. You didn't get round to doing it, you didn't have the time, and think about where you are with those. So this is the perfect time to reflect, using the autumn to reflect on the year that was, the year that has been, and take stock. That is absolutely the first step to do right now. Then I want you to look at the goals. If you have done a vision board, is look on your vision board and still see if those goals that you set for this year, if you haven't achieved them yet, or maybe you've set bigger goals for the next 2, 4, 5 years, etc. Are they still true to you? Are they still in alignment with you and what you want and what your soul wants? Are they still feeling like the things you want to be doing? That is the first really part to start on, because I think sometimes if we don't achieve a goal, we go, oh, that didn't happen, we've gone past it. Or we don't achieve a goal and we continue to keep setting that goal and keep doing it, but not realizing the reason why we're not achieving that goal is because it's not in alignment with who we are. It is no longer in alignment with what we want and what we think and what we feel and really what we want for our life, right? Like how many times do we keep doing the same thing over and over again, thinking we still want that and we don't? And I've actually something's just popped into my mind. A perfect example of this is I wanted a new car. And I set a new car for this year. I need a new car. It's not just a want, it's something that's quite prevalent now. And I had in my mind, I wanted an Audi A1, and that's because about 10 plus years ago, 15 years ago maybe, I drove one, and I thought they were quick, they were nippy, they were fun to drive, it was easy to drive, and I thought, yep, that's it, I want that car. We then went, my husband and I, to look at some cars and A1s, and I was like, yes, right, this is it. I found the car. We drove for like 2 hours to this dealership, got in the car, got in it, and he's like, right, let's take it out for a drive. I got in, and it's so small to what I'm used to. I felt very enclosed, and the clutch, I'm in England, right, we use clutches, it's not automatics, and it was so heavy and really difficult to, like ridiculously heavy on my leg. And it was just not what I thought it was. And it was that moment I had to make a decision of, well, I don't know now, I don't know what to do. And it's one of those that you either just like scrap or you have to find something else to do. And it's that I could keep that goal and keep going, oh, I just want an Audi. It just wasn't the right colour, which it wasn't, but it could be like that. But it's knowing as well that didn't fit me anymore, and let that go and allow myself to move on to something else. Whatever that might look like. So yeah, review the goals that are on your vision board and that you had for this year, and think about if they're the ones you want to take into next year, if they're still true to you, Or maybe they just need tweaking a bit. Maybe you've had some information or they're just not quite in alignment. You just need to make some changes. That's also something that's really common to do. So that's what I would like you to do. When you do that, it allows us to build momentum for next year, for 2025. It allows us to let go of what was, be grateful for what we've had, celebrate our successes and what we've managed to achieve so far, and then decide what we're going to be taking goals-wise into the new year. And it will start building momentum, because then we start thinking and feeling and discovering the things and the goals we want for the next year, and we do it now. And it allows us to start building that up, so that when we come into this winter time where everyone's quiet, and it's also not so quiet because we've got Christmas and it's busy and it's crazy, but it'll allow us to really propel into the new year. It will get us through that season, and we go into January and we've already started. Yes, you heard me right. I would always recommend you start your goals and start moving towards your goals in December. Maybe even November if you're like super organized. But December, I start my goals at the beginning of December. I've already made a decision on what I'm doing. I might review them a little bit around that time, but I will start them then. And what I'm talking about is starting the rituals, is starting taking action towards what it might be. So this could just be changing a morning routine, for example. It might be implementing something new in my morning routine, changing it up. Just get started. Those small little rituals and habits that we do will build up to then obviously achieving our bigger goal. So start now, reflect on what has been this year, look at the good and the bad, take with you what you need to, and the goals that you want to take forward that you haven't yet achieved, and you take them forward to help build momentum to start creating new goals, new dreams, new desires for the next year. The only rule with this is it needs to be in alignment with who you are. So really picking things that fit you, fit who you are and what your soul is trying to lead you towards. You can look at different areas of your life and just pick a couple goals for each, you know, and not get too caught up on 10 goals. I know someone that does 10 goals for every area of life. That to me is crazy. That's too much for 1 year for me, but that might be exactly what you need to do. I like to set 3 to 5 for each area of life, like mid to big kind of goals, depending on obviously what they are. And then I set little goals as well sometimes, and that's all I go on. I create my vision board and I go off on my way. If you are looking at doing a vision board, just be sure that you pick things that are really in alignment with you and you really feel the pictures. I think that's a key thing when you're doing a vision board. If you're interested in getting started and starting your 2025 prep goals right now, I would always recommend that you do a cutting the cords exercise, a cutting cords practice to release the past, release what was, let that energy go and let it fall away. I do have a practice completely for free, and I'll put a link down in the description box below. I do also have a gratitude practice. If you're thinking about wanting to make spirituality a real goal for you this year, you really want to focus on it, I would really recommend getting your morning routine down pat and getting that into something you really can align with and gets you set up for the day. It honestly is one of the things that I talk about the most, because it really sets your mood and your intention for the day, and it stops allowing people to come in and kind of knock you off your path. I can put a link down below if you like. It's completely for free. And I do have, if you really want 2025 to go off with a bang and you really want to make 2025 the year that you achieve your goals and you go where you want to go, I have my book, Girl Stop Making Me Feel Bad, which is a collection of spiritual practices that you can do that will help you keep in alignment, keep you on your soul's purpose and the reason that you are meant to be here. The reason you're meant to be here. I'll put a link down below. You can go and buy that one. And that's it really. So be sure to reflect, look at the goals that you have achieved so far and that you haven't achieved, and decide if you want to take them forward, and then start setting goals for the year ahead. Don't be shy, don't be scared, give yourself permission and set goals that feels really truthful and in alignment with you. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and liking this video. My name is Joanne Moore, and I will catch you all in the next video.